Two Shaftesbury friends have strengthened their friendship, walking more than 100 miles along the southwest coast path and raising thousands for Shaftesbury's Brave and Determined Company, the local charity that provides free counselling for people struggling with their mental health.
We end up smashing 3,700. So that gives 11 or 12 people free life-saving counselling. So I'm over the moon with that.
That's Taryn Francis, and together with Laurie Stone, the pair set out to walk 103 miles at the start of October. They started in Torquay, where the weather was glorious.
I mean, the sun was beating down, wasn't it, on the first day?
But typical of a British autumn, things changed, and by the Friday, the pair were battling Storm Amy.
And that really battered us, absolutely battered us. So we were completely drenched from top to bottom, and our bags as well were absolutely filled with water.
They had to stride along in soggy kit.
So all our dry clothes were drenched, so it was pretty rough that day.
Did you have more days of walking after that wearing clothes that were not properly dried?
Yeah, so going into Saturday, because we were so far ahead, we only had 12 or 13 miles left to do. So on the way from Dorchester to Blandford, it was pretty rough. So yeah, we had wet socks, wet shoes, wet t-shirts. Yeah, it was just, we couldn't wait to finish it, to be honest.
Were you squelching with every step?
It was pretty horrendous. So all our dry clothes were drenched, so it was pretty rough that day.
So did you have more days of walking after that wearing clothes that were not properly dried?
Yeah, so going into Saturday, because we were so far ahead, we only had 12 or 13 miles left to do. So on the way from Dorchester to Blandford, it was pretty rough. So yeah, we had wet socks, wet shoes, wet t-shirts. Yeah, it was just, we couldn't wait to finish it, to be honest.
Were you squelching with every step?
It was pretty horrendous.
That wasn't the only drama. A police chase came dangerously close.
If we were 20 seconds ahead of ourselves, we would have been hit by a car. It literally smacked a bunker just in front of us and flipped over on its side. So that was like scary for us as well. Kind of made me wary, because I know we had a lot of main roads to go on because of some coastal paths were just closed. So we had no point but to go on to the main roads. It was just scary because when the car flipped, everyone just jumped out of the car and just disbanded everywhere. And yeah, I thought to myself, is it the right idea to do this? And obviously we've done more miles because it took us in a 10-mile wrong direction.
Driving 10 miles out of the way in a car is bad enough, isn't it? But walking it, that's hours.
Yeah, we got to a coastal path and we realised it was closed, wasn't it? And the route we ended up taking, we encountered this 5-mile hill where it wiped us out completely. We just had no energy after that.
Seaton, I think it was. Yeah, because I remember it was your good idea to go down this road, and I thought, do you know what, something doesn't feel right here. It was only when we got to the end and we were like, oh, that's taken so long. I think it added about 4 hours, and we were basically jogging a lot of that as well, just to catch up, because we, obviously the hotels we booked, we have to be there at a certain time.
And there was a mishap with accommodation.
It was an Airbnb which Laurie booked, and they failed to let us know if a key was in the back garden. So we were ringing them and we got hold of next door, and she was quite happily give us tea, cake, and literally let us know that there's a pub down the road with rooms. So we're thankful for that.
When you spend that much time with somebody you're already friends with, you learn more about them, like how much your mate snores.
Taryn, 100%. He even sleeps like in weird positions, and he talks, and horrendous.
Does he?
Yeah.
Do you want to get your revenge, Taryn?
Yeah, one night he actually woke me up by snoring so loud. I don't know what it was. Then I looked around and he used to sound asleep, snoring his head off. So I think it's a mix of both of us.
So as a personal trainer, can you prepare for this?
You can, if you have a lot more time to prepare. So Taryn only gave us
3 months?
3 or 4 months, but ideally looking at doing something like this, you need a good year, really. And it's just preparing your feet to take on the mileage. By day 2 we were covered in blisters, so it was really adding up, and there's only so much plasters and tape you can do over and over again, so yeah, it just becomes quite really tough on the feet. But in terms of body, like, I think We did a fair bit of training on our legs, didn't we? It wasn't too bad. It was just getting through the pain for the feet, and it was more of a mental challenge than anything.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? You think, go for a nice walk along the coast, that's not difficult. 103 miles seems quite a lot. 110 miles, yeah, a fair bit. But when you actually do it, and you've got the weather and all that resistance because of the elements and the incline, I guess it's very different.
In my head, I was like, oh, I walk every day. It'd just be just a couple miles down the street, and just like look out for view. No, it wasn't. It was mentally draining. You know, had everything against us, like a beaten sun with big rucksacks. We didn't really do training, did we? Because we had to work full time. When we could do training, we had blisters on our feet, so we had to stop for walking training. In the end, we just decided to gym it, didn't we? Just do whatever we could do in a gym.
And does the gym prepare you for that? Obviously you can get the cardio rate up, but just the whole, I suppose, the process of walking, it's never even, is it? Like a gym, even if you have an incline, it's not the same as going on a coast path.
It's definitely not the same, but we trained the muscles on the legs, lower back, just to give us the extra preparation for the amount of mileage we were doing. I think some of the days we were doing 14, 15-hour days, and that was with very little breaks as well. So it is really tough unless you're used to doing it. 40 to 50,000 steps a day. On the first day we did 75,000 steps. We ended up walking a lot of main roads, and I remember a road outside of Dorchester that was just chock-a-block, wasn't it? And people were stopping and asking us what we were doing. We had people handing us money through the car window, and it was really good. And then it was only when we got to the top of the hill we realised that we got a long way to go. Loads of good memories. We were so hungry, but we couldn't stay for too long, so we went into this little ice cream place. Do you remember that woman?
Dawlish, wasn't it?
She gave us this massive thing that was like 18 quid, and they just give it to us, donated it to us, and drinks as well. And we were chatting to her for ages, and they put a shout out on their Instagram stories as well. So I just remember also tasting all the beers.
You may recall that before the walk, Taryn said and Alfred, when this was done, he'd complete a skydive for the charity.
We will have to do it because we have loads of regulars in Coffee One, which we'll bring it up. Oh, you can start skydive soon. We did say to each other, we'd keep it on the down low because then people will forget. I'm petrified of heights. I can't go up 3 stairs or ladders without it just shaking.
Were you right by the coast path? Because I don't like cliff drops and stuff like that. There's quite a lot of places I'd avoid on the coast path.
We were 1 or 2 days, wasn't it? We were high up, especially next to this railway track, and it's just this big fall into a sea. And I was like, no, staying right on the other side. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
But yeah, just don't do heights.
So when is the sky jump then, the skydive? Set the date.
We haven't set a date because I know that the BADCo boys were keen to do this with us, so it's just out of their availability really, but I imagine it'll be halfway through the next year maybe, or I don't know really. I know they do it quite regularly, so I guess whenever they're good.
So do you reckon this is going to be an annual thing then, you two having an adventure?
So we have teamed up with Lisa Cooper from BADCo doing the 100k walk next year, March.
May.
So that's our next one.
Where's that then?
I'm not sure, to be honest, because we done a BADCo podcast, and afterwards she said, oh, she's going to do the 100k walk. And me being me without thinking, said, yeah, I'll come along.
I think the difference is with this one, it's 100k in one go, so there's no breaks. 60 miles in one go, and you've got the opportunity to do a bit of running and jogging as well. So I think it takes roughly 48 hours to do.
Do you know how much you've actually raised? Because sometimes the online totals, you get more stuff, the donations you've had, the cash you've been given to in money terms.
Including gift aid, I probably think 3.8.
Yeah, it's just over £3,000 in the actual pot, but with gift aid it's just under 3,800, so it would be really good. So I think we're going to keep it going for a little bit longer to see if we can round it up to £4,000. People are still putting money into the donation pot in here, so it's all going to add up. It has slowed down a lot, obviously it will do because we've completed it.
And what was your best moment finally?
I actually really enjoyed just being with Taryn and just having a laugh along the way. We had a lot of moments where we would have funny bickers, or we would just talk on random subjects. That for me was pretty good. I think doing it with anyone else would have been a bit boring.
And whatever happens next, this challenge has strengthened their friendship.
Me and Laurie's been best friends for so many months now. We've helped each other out through mental health, but it made me grow closer to Laurie, to understand him as a person and what he's going through and how he thinks. I do appreciate him more as a person.
Taryn Francis and Laurie Stone, two Shaftesbury friends who went further than they ever planned, raising nearly $4,000 for BADCo and proving what can happen when determination and friendship take